Good morning, Flosstube. My name is Laura, and I'd like to welcome you to Stitching by the Shore, my channel about cross stitch, and every once in a while something different. Lately, though, it's been all cross stitch all the time. If you are new, I want to say thank you so much for pressing play and welcome. I hope you like what you see. Maybe hit subscribe, come back for some more, and feel free to always leave comments. I love hearing from everybody, so never be afraid to ask a comment or a question or make a comment. I love it. And if you're a returner, you know I love you guys. You are so awesome, and I want to thank you for your continued support. It just means the world to me. So thank you so much. All right, we have a lot going on today, so I am going to jump right into stitching. Not even a minute in. Look at that. I have a finish. I finished it. It's a small finish, but I'll take it. So I was stitching by Bendy Stitchy, Moral Compass, pattern I bought a few weeks back. This is done on 18 count. Oh, new people, or new watchers, I should say. Excuse me, new watchers. 18 count is my preferred, at the moment, my preferred count of fabric. So everything you see will be 18 count. This is Through the Stones by Bestitchme. Now, the only thing I changed was the word choose. In the original chart, it's charted with, I think that's 762. Now, with the blue around it, it looks fantastic, but I had stitched that first without the blue and it blended right in. So I knew if I had done that with the word choose that you wouldn't be able to see it. And I did want to do it something different because I did like the idea how she had charted it a different color to make it stand out a little bit more. So what I did is I actually tried, I've never stitched with them before, the DMC Etoile. Is that how it's said? So I picked up one. This is number 554. You're not going to see, I'm sure, a sparkle, but there is a cute little sparkle on it with it. And I thought, I don't know if it was the serging color that Brandy used on this for the thread or what, but the purple spoke to me, and I do. I like it with the purple. And I originally thought I would try it in 550, which is the darker purple, but the lighter one definitely called to me a bit more. So that's that. So I have a finish. What I'm doing with this, I'm so up in the air. I actually thought about stitching it more than once because part of me wants to make an ornament. I have for a long time, even before stitching, wanted to do a Harry Potter tree. I have a lot of ideas for paper type of ornaments and crafty ornaments, not just stitching. And then I thought I could add some stitched pieces too. So that's one option as I'm bending it to make it smaller to show you, of making it an ornament and having it on a tree. The other thing I was thinking about is Bendy Stitchy, Michelle Garrett, has shown in a couple of her videos, no, maybe just one, but she's talked about it. She has a cross stitch journal for her smalls, and it's kind of like a junk journal or kind of a scrapbooky journal, and that's where she puts her smalls because there's only so many things you can put out after a while. Part of me thought about doing that because you know my background in the paper arts and crafts and all of that, so that's a thought. And then I also thought it'd be kind of cute, you know, like making it a hanger, not as an ornament necessarily, but, you know, maybe as a reminder in kids' dorm rooms. You know, my son's not in college yet, but he eventually will be. But I don't know. I don't know if they may not want that. So that's like third on the list of what I'll do. But I have seriously thought about stitching this more than once. It is a lovely stitch. It's charted fantastic, very easy to read, good size, and a quick stitch. I kind of did it in piecemeal because I had different things going on different days, but you could definitely within a day or two have this stitched up. And this is a quote, or maybe not a direct quote, but the essential thought of a quote from, I believe it's Dumbledore in Harry Potter. So that's my finish. Yay! Okay, I know it's smalls, but I'm back to getting at least a finish once in a while. That feels good because those big projects, I love them, but I like that instant gratification of a finish once in a while. All right, whips. Let's do whips. My first one, I I'm still plugging away. I swear I put time in this. You're gonna look at it and say, Laura, you didn't do anything. I did do. It's Long May She Wave from Stitching with the Housewives. I finished the flag. That in and of itself is a big deal. So this is done on navy blue from Garibaldis. Oh, for some reason, this dark color totally washes out my light. Nothing else does, but it's just the dark. If I go back out like that, see, I now become completely washed out. So I finished the flag, which took me quite some time. And now I just started a little bit extra. I felt like I needed to at least feel like I did something besides the flag. But these 2 long stripes were my big job for the week. I did change the pattern, so I did no chicken, which meant this went up just a little bit taller, and I put another flower hanging around the pole type of thing. And I don't think I'll do a chicken over the truck. But that is another big part of this. I have a feeling this is going to be quite some time of stitching before I get this done. But that's where I am with this. So now hopefully when I stitch it, it might look like I've accomplished more, because I'm going to do, I think I might focus a little bit on some grass and maybe the words, so that I feel like it at least feels like I'm doing something. I think I will give it some time in July. My July plans are, they're in flux. I think they will change with my mood on any given day in the month of July. I have a semi-plan, but not a full plan. So we'll see how that goes. My next is Satsuma Street, Halloween Cat. I love this one. This one is so fun to stitch. This is done on Blue Gray by Garibaldis. So what did I do, you ask? The cat. The cat was my big accomplishment. And there's a little bit, that's a tree started by his tail there. But that cat, he's big. He's a lot of stitches. So that took me a long time. That was my main focus. Now I'll start with some trees. You know, you've got the bigger one, then little one. Then there's a cute little, I think there's another cat with another pumpkin down there. So that's plugging along. I definitely think this could be a finish this year for sure. I am optimistic. Maybe even by the end of the summer, if I keep giving it some time and a little bit of love every 1 or 2 weeks. And the last of my whips is from Silver Creek Samplers. It's my Christmas list. I've seen people stitching it still. I know is it a little older? I think so. I don't have the other part with me right now. Now I did this. This is unnamed. I won this fabric at Bestitchme, one of her Friday night fight nights. So it doesn't have a name. I did ask. I uploaded it on her Facebook page, and I asked, and Brandy herself answered. She said she's not 100% sure it's sea glass, but it looks like it. So what I'm going to do, I have a list of things I want to order from Bestitchme, just from the website as opposed to Fight Nights. And one of them is sea glass, because it looks beautiful regardless, even if it's not quite this color. But once I order, I'll let you know if it is that color or not, because I know a couple people have asked. So here we are. I don't know why I have so much extra fabric here. I finished, what is this? Christmas Blessing, Flying Reindeer. I started to work on I've actually finished the mistletoe picture. That, I would have been farther. I probably would have had more words, but I messed up totally on one half of this, and it was off a stitch, and I was gonna say, keep it, whatever, but it didn't look right when I did it, so I had to pull that all out. And then I don't remember, it was either Blessing or Flying Reindeer, somewhere I had miscounted a stitch and had to pull that out, because the letters, again, I was gonna keep it, but the letters kind of didn't look right the way they had them. So there was a little bit of frogging going on with that this week, but this is where I've got, the color looks so pretty, really loving this one. This will be my big piece whip for next month. So, you know, I'm going to do some new starts, Christmas in July kind of idea, but I am also going to work on whips, and I do want to have at least one summary project going the entire month. Whether I switch them out or I work on one exclusively, I don't know, but I do want to keep up the summer projects because I really enjoy stitching them. I love usually the colors and the scenes because the beach is my favorite place to be, even though I don't go lay out. I like the beach. I just love the beach. So that is always something I enjoy stitching, and I kind of want to have a little bit of that in my rotation. But this one is definitely going to feature in July. Will I get a finish in July? I think that might be a stretch because it is, where am I? I'm only up to here. So I'm probably a third of the way done. So if I can get at least another third of it done, and then I'd have a couple months before the holidays to have that finished. So that's my goal. We'll see. I love that one though. Really do like stitching that one. Now we had a new start. I joined the I'll Be Home SAL. It is being run by Pam from Just Keep Stitching. And she has a Facebook group. If you are stitching, she's stitching them all 12. It's a series of 12 houses, monthlies. And you can do them as one piece, which is what Pam is doing. You can do them separately, which is what I'm doing. You can do one house out of the 12. You can do whatever you want. And even with the Facebook group, she has said that, you know, if people want to join and just watch the progress of things, she's happy, you know, to have people join that way too. So I'll link that down below. Let me just open up my iPad to show you. I could not find a picture of this to show you. This is the August cottage. That's the one I decided to start with. So I'll have my mom's cottage going monthly as I'm working on that. And now, I don't know if I'll be able to do one a month on these. We'll see. I only started it this week, so we'll see how fast they go. But this is the picture. And I am doing it on Friendship Green by Fabrics by Stephanie. And let me show you in the back first, just because I think you can see the green a little bit better. As it gets closer, you can't quite see the green as much, but it's a very light, subtle green. I originally thought August, summery idea, maybe a really light blue, but the colors of the floss really looked a lot better on the green because I put it against the two, and they really just brought out and accented the colors a lot more. So I went with the very light green instead. So that's what I have. Nice little start. I enjoy stitching this. It is all charted in DMC, and I'm using DMC. I know some people have converted to some fancy flosses that I have seen on the Facebook group, but you know me, you charting in DMC, I'm all for it. So that's what I have so far. And the flowers, will go down this way and this way. Now, when you stitch them individually, it's Twin Peak Primitives. I'm not sure I said that. Twin Peak Primitives is the designer. And they have a certain outline if you stitch them all 12, but they also had an outline that they gave if you wanted to do them individually. I don't know if I'm going to stitch that border. I'm not sure. What I want to do is I want to stitch one, maybe two, we'll see, without the border and see what I think. And then if it looks like it's missing something, then I'll go back. I've given myself enough room. I'm not worried about running out of room. So that's not an issue. I should think that'll be fine. But I just want to see what they look like without any border. So that's my goal with that. And I do want to keep going. This will be a continuation during the month of July. It's not Christmassy, but that's okay. I like it, and I do want to I want to try to see how we'll go, how fast these will go, whether or not there'll be one a month. If I feel like it's going to take longer, maybe I skip a couple months ahead and then work my way around that way. I don't know, just having fun with it, and we'll see what happens. And that's my new start. There is a hashtag for this. It's hashtag I'll Be Home SAL. And I'll link all that below. So if you are interested in seeing, it's so interesting to see the different fabric choices people are making, because then the houses look so different when you put it on a different fabric. So it's really kind of cool that way to see what everybody else is doing. So I will definitely link that. All right, that's my stitching. Now, shopping. I don't have much. I really don't. I know I have a piece of fabric coming today. I got the notice that it is out for delivery, but our mail never comes this early. I usually try to tape in the morning. And then I did win some fight night fabric Friday night? Last Friday night. Today's Friday again. Last Friday night. I don't think that's coming till the beginning of next week though. So I'll have more to show then. So no fabric to even show this week. What I do have, one thing I bought and one thing was free. So let's start with the freebie first. I was watching Long Dog Stitcher, and I think it's Jenny. Hopefully it's Jenny. If it's not, I am so sorry. For some reason, that's what I'm thinking in my head. She had one of her most recent videos, I should say, not later videos. She had stitched up from Brooks Books, the Advent Critters. I think that's what she calls them. Advent Animals. And I had seen these originally, and there's an owl on one of them, which I was going to stitch because my daughter's mascot at school, at her college, is an owl. So we definitely want that. But then I saw her completed. She did each one separately. She did not put the numbers on them. So that's my dilemma now, whether I put the numbers or not. They look adorable. They are the cutest things I have ever seen. And she stitched them fantastic. So if you are interested, watch her video. It will, even if you're not quite sure you're interested, if you watch her video, they look so great that I think she'll convince you. So I'm just gonna scroll real quick. So there's 25 of them. All of them are free. I'll link the site below. It's Brooks Books Publishing, maybe? Nope, brooksbooks.com. And she has a freebies page, and all of these are on there. See, that's the owl. Isn't that cute? That was the one that originally sold me, but then, like I said, the others are just adorable. I don't know if I'm going to do the numbers. After seeing how she did it, it looked great. And I don't know if I want it necessarily as an advent. I don't know yet. First, I got to pick fabric. So that would be a fun start. Look at all this. This is all of it printed off. So get your printer paper ready if you're going to do it. But it's huge. It's a huge amount. But thank you to Brooks Books. How fabulous to do something like that and to make it completely free. So I don't know if this would be something I would do in July, kind of a Christmassy in July. I have some other ideas for plans. I think if I find the fabric, maybe I'll give it a try. But then I just have to decide if I'm doing the numbers or not. If you were doing them, would you do them with the numbers or would you do them without? Out of curiosity. Or if you have done them, did you do them with the numbers or without? Because I don't know if I want to make an advent tree or if I just want to have ornaments type of thing. So that's my dilemma on that. The other thing I bought, so when I went and I had the idea with the Moral Compass pattern that I finished this week, I did want to do something maybe a little different for that one word. And I had never used a toile before. So I Googled it and Michael's came up, and I originally was just going to pick a color or two to think for this pattern. And then I was like, oh, maybe some gold, because how I'm working on Kringles. Rather than using whatever specialty floss it's called for, I was like, maybe I could just use this. So I was going to get that and a few other colors. Well, I clicked on coupons because I was ordering online and I was looking for a good, 30%, 40% off your online purchases. But what popped up was a 50% off one item. And when I was looking at the toile, they had the set of 35. I said, well, if I'm already picking several of them and each one of them, I'm not going to I could do a 50% off one of them, but that's $1 off versus getting this whole set. Well, you know, you guys I'm sure have been in the same boat. What did I do? I got the whole set. So there's 35 colors in them. This is the one that I did, the 554. That's the one that I did for the pattern that I had done. I'd never used this before. It's fluffy. Am I supposed to? So I originally did what I did with my regular DMC, and I pulled out the one strand, I folded it and did a loop start. It was a little funky at the start, like where it would go. And I'm thinking maybe I shouldn't do that. So then I did 2 strands and did the regular, just, you know, the tail start. What am I supposed to do? Is there a better way to do it? Are there any tricks or tips that you can give me for using these? These are beautiful, and I'd love to use them in places where it could use a little bit of sparkle. It's my first jump into something that's not just the straight floss. And everybody complains about some of the metallic threads. So I thought, oh, well, maybe if I just want a little sparkle, I can use these. So I need all the help I can get. Everything. Any tips and tricks you have learned along the way using these, send them my way, please. Because I really want to make sure I get good use out of these. And not only did I get my 50% off, but I don't know if some of you, when you order online, there's Mr. Rebates, it's Rakuten now, it used to be Ebates. There's a lot of different places, and Michael's you can get an extra set of money back on. So I got 3% off of my purchase on top of the, you know, once the coupon was off, then I got another 3% that just goes into my account of money back. And I did curbside pickup, so I was in, out, actually not even in and out. I was in my car. So that was a nice, easy purchase with a little bit extra money back. And that means I can buy some more fun stuff. But if there is anything you've learned along the way about these that you think that somebody who's never used them before could use, send them my way. You know that. I'm always willing to be taught. Teach me. Tell me what I need to know. And that's it. That's all the purchases that are in. Like I said, I have fabric coming today, and I think the other fabric is coming on Monday. Tonight, I think there's a fight night. It's Friday. I haven't seen, yes, I think there is a fight night this week. I say I'm going to look, and if something totally jumps out at me, then I throw in my me please right away. So we'll see. If I'm awake, I will look, and we'll see if I get myself anything. Makes Friday nights a little fun. Plans. What am I doing for July now that we are at the end of June? So I am doing some sort of Christmas in July along with other stuff. My beachy July, I guess I'll call it. So I definitely want to continue my Christmas list. That is my top #1 whip I want to work on during the month of July. Then I have some starts that I'm 99% sure. I was going to say I definitely know I want to start. I'm 99% sure they will get started. That's the plan, unless something else super adorable comes out, or I get completely engrossed in doing the Advent animals from Brooks Books. We'll see. This one is a definite, because you know I'm working on these for my mom, Country Cottage Needleworks, the December Cottage. I jumped out of order because I just done September. I jumped out of order since it was July, Christmas in July, and I did have this pattern. And you know I'm doing them all on the back side of Vintage Country Mocha. So that's what that one will be on. I thought about some of these fabric choices, and I have one that's a little bit crazy, you know that. And then there was another one I was going to go a little crazy, but I decided against it. So I myself I picked up one of these for myself as well, especially as well as one that I was doing as a giveaway, the Prairie Schooler Santa. And I am going to do that, I believe, on Picture This Plus Jade. Picture This Plus is not my 100% favorite because I do stitch in hand and it's very floppy, but I'll make do. It's not a huge pattern. It should be fine. This will be smaller. I don't know. Are they normally stitched on either a 28 or 14 count as the examples? Oh no, this was stitched on an 18 count because I was just curious on size. I haven't figured out yet what the size will be on that, but that's another one of my choices for a new start. I have 4 new starts picked out. This one I love, and again, it's older. You know, since I've come back to stitching just last fall, a lot of patterns that a lot of you have already stitched, I'm just getting to, but that's half the fun. That's okay. This one is a Lizzie Kate, Dear Santa, I've Been Good. I love that. I love both pieces, actually. I think I would start with the bigger piece, though. And I was going to go with kind of it was the wintergreen that I had gotten from Hand Dyed Happiness. So it was brighter than the jade, but darker. I can't explain it exactly, and I thought the dark green would look fantastic on it. The problem is there's a few lighter greens in this as well, and when I held up the floss, it didn't do anything great with it. So I had done a lot of dyeing, coffee tea dyeing of some Aida. So this was an 18 count white Aida that I coffee tea dyed. I did do Christmas list in that, and I think I might do the colors. The colors did look nice, and that was Lizzie Kate as well. I'm pretty sure a lot of them are the same colors. So I do think, look at that, see, I can do more neutrals at times, and I need to preface that here, see, neutral, before I show you the next one. So I do think I'm going to do that with a neutral color fabric. Then the last one. This is the Jolly St. Nick and Rudolph from Stitching with the Housewives. Super cute. So I originally said, ooh, will I do it with that color and cotton fabric that I had gotten? Well, it was a May fabric of the month. It was a bright blue. Well, when I was going through my fabrics this morning, because I was looking at these patterns and trying to figure out some fabric colors, this one I pulled out instead, and I like it a little better for this pattern, I think, if I'm going to go crazy, because it's a little bit bluer. So this is from Bestitchme, and it's April Showers. Now I know you're like, whoa, really? Totally crazy. But here are the colors. And I do think they'll look cute on that. Can't tell if that's 100% accurate representation. So I think I might just go crazy and do it. Throw in something a little bit brighter and a little bit different. So that's the option for that one. So hopefully those are my 4 choices that I will dig into for new starts. Again, there might be other things, who knows? And I do want to go through, I have whips that are from last year, Christmas whips, that some of them I want to redo. I want to change what they're stitched on. Some of them I just need to pick up again because I only put in a few stitches, so they need some love. So those might get put into as well. What kind of idea, besides maybe 1 start a week during Christmas in July, and my stitching a little bit on my Christmas list. Other than that, I don't know what my plans are. I know I asked a few videos back what you guys were doing, and I know a lot of you had a bunch of different ideas. So I'll be really interested to hear your progress. If you don't have a floss tube, just talk to me during July and tell me how it's going and tell me what you're doing if you are doing something along those lines. If you have a floss tube, I'd love to watch and see what you're doing and your progress on that, because I'm sure you'll enable me on other patterns that I absolutely have to have. That seems to be the way to do it. I should have a notebook next to me. I usually stitch while I'm watching Flosstube. And I should have a notebook as well, just so I could write patterns down, but I don't, which might be better for me because otherwise I'd probably spend a lot more. So I have 2 more things to do here, and then I'll be saying Happy Friday to you. So it was actually 3 weeks ago. 3 weeks ago, I had pulled a winner for this Prairie Schooler 2020. I thought it was 2 weeks, but I looked back on my notes and it was 3, and I never heard back from the winner. And I do want to give, I do want somebody to be able to stitch it. So I went back to the video and went through the names, and I am repicking a winner. So the new winner is, oh, it's stuck, sorry. The new winner is Deborah McCoy. So if you could send me either an email, My email address is down below. If you could send me an email with your address, or feel free, I know sometimes people just DM me on Instagram. Feel free to do that as well. My Instagram is listed as well. But I will look in both places. I even check spam. I check everything to make sure that I don't miss out if I know somebody is going to be emailing me. But that's the new winner on that one. And I will get that out the beginning of this week if I have your address. Then I lost what I did with it. Where'd it go? I'm doing a little bit of a de-stash, and I'd like to pass it along because I'd like somebody else to be able to use this, because I will not. Back, I don't know, maybe probably the end of last year or the beginning of this year, I don't remember. I got the idea that, you know what, I'm gonna jump from Ada. And so I ordered a big piece. This is from, I think, 123 Stitch. I think it was whatever the manufacturer coffee dyed. I think they call it coffee dyed. It's a 28 count even weave. Nice big piece. I know some of you are Ada stitchers like me, but I know some of you like to do a bunch of things. And some of you may not even, I hope if you're watching me, even if you don't like Ada, I hope you can just watch it and get something out of it and visit with me, because I always love that. But if you either want to try or you do like to use 28 count, it's open. I don't have the package anymore, but I will package it up. Everything I send is always packaged as best I can in some sort of covering so that the item is protected along the way in case, it gets run over or rained on or snowed on in the case of winter. So it will come in something protected, just not the original protection. But it's never been used. It's never been, it's got a little bit of these things hanging off now because it's been sitting around for a few months, but it's never been cut by me or anything. So I'd like to pass that on to somebody who would appreciate it and like it and use it and stitch from it. So my question to you, in order to enter, is if you were stuck on a desert island and you could have as much of this in any colors as you wanted, but you could only do one fabric count, what would be your desert island fabric count? You know me, mine would be 18. I'm not going to limit you in colors and hand dyers or companies, but I am limiting you on count. So what count would be yours? And you don't have to say 28 to get this. If you like 28 but it's not your favorite, still enter. Or if you want to try it, still enter. And I will pick a winner next week on that one. So that is, I gotta start cleaning. I gotta start cleaning the house, and some things are just not coming with me when I eventually move, and that includes my crafty stash. We won't talk about my studio with all of the stamps and cardstock and paper products. I haven't done that yet because I'm really afraid to do that yet. That is a job that is bigger than I am willing to take on at the moment. If any of you love organizing, you want to organize a craft room that is a disaster, I have one for you. So anyway, that is this week for video number 20. Can you imagine? I can't believe it. I'm already done. This is my 20th video. So that is that. Otherwise, I got nothing. This week was quiet. What did I do? I bought sneakers. I walk every day as much as I can every day, and my sneakers were basically going down the drain. So I went and had a sneaker fitting, and I got myself a new pair of sneakers. I did my curbside pickup at Michael's. We've been doing a lot of paint choosing. So we have a list of colors that for the house, the interior colors that we can choose 5 of them for the house. It's not the big Sherwin-Williams swatch. It's a very small swatch of Sherwin-Williams. So we bought a bunch of samples and some 2x2 wood boards, and we are just painting away, and they're sitting in the other room so I can see them in daylight and darkness and make my choices. So that was the other thing happening this week. Other than that, it's been pretty quiet. Is Connecticut the land of steady habits, or is that another New England state? Because that's pretty much been us. We've been staying home. We've been hanging out pretty much quietly and doing our thing. So that's it. I hope you all are well. Please, 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 I hope everybody stays well. It's a bit scary out there right now as different states are having some resurging numbers. So I'm really thinking about you. I'm really hoping that you are well and safe, and that's just my wish for you as we work our way through the summer. And I am so happy to spend my weeks with you, my stitchy friends, and I hope you get a ton of stitching time between now and when I see you again. And until then, happy stitching.